Gibby, where are you now?
I am in Salt Lake City. New Richmond is where my heart is, though.
Doesn't really seem like it.
Yeah, right?
Live from the Justin Livestream Network studios, Scrib and Gib.
Well, Scrib?
You know what it is, though, right?
What's
Here's the deal. We got some warm weather, then it got cold, and he had to get out. I mean, he does this every time. He's this big football player that grew up in New Richmond. Oh, Star Prairie, that wore that jersey, and he used to always say one on a Friday night.
And who does he send to do this little podcast?
Darth Gibby.
Yeah. Well, again, he's smarter. He lets the two smartest guys in the room talk, you and I, and then he adds his one-liners when he's bored.
Well, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, but he is.
I am smarter
than Gibby, yeah.
It doesn't take much.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, we can leave it at that, but it's good having Darth Gibby back. We got a lot of compliments of it. I think people like the intelligence coming from him.
I think we're giving him a lot of compliments.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, yeah. But again, he wears that jersey way better than the other Gibby did. It
fills it out more.
Fills it out, yeah. Fills them all, that's for sure. Well, it's been a while. We had spring break where I enjoyed the island life. And, I have it on my phone. This dang thing right here, Gibby was jealous. I get it.
Yeah, he was.
And that's not surprising. But, it is when you're at the Virgin Islands and water was beautiful. Beaches are beautiful. And I didn't have nothing to do. So I liked it.
You took a little break from work. Good job, buddy.
Well, I still worked in the mornings when I had time.
Well, there it is.
I mean, it's drinking coffee, sitting, looking at the views. What are you going to do, Moose? I mean, that's what I love to do, actually. Is
an hour of work or 2 hours of work and just get it done, right?
Because then I might have enjoyed myself, that's part of life. But we do got some things to catch up on. The one major thing, we did get confirmation after Darth Gibby called out Coach Cran for the powerlifting, so we got to work on some arrangements getting him in here. We're going to...
Yay, sports.
Yes, yay, sports. But how about yay, Coach Cran, for not challenge, but accepting the challenge and coming on. So that'll be fun. I think it's going to be exciting. Again, that's going to come hopefully in a week or so. We'll get him on there with
Yay, Coach Cran.
Jesus. With Gibby's, he does have some travel coming up again. I think it's personal and work. Who knows what? We'll figure it out. But we're going to get Coach Cran in here. And most likely, Coach Cran would probably just prefer to talk to us two guys. Probably. Guys that know what working out means, right? I mean.
Well, I mean.
I am already scheduled to come back on.
Oh, you are?
Oh, Gibby already talked to you? Wow. Okay.
Oh, all right. We'll have you on again. Our listeners like you.
Well, I'm glad they do. It's kind of fun, and it's fun for us to not have to talk to Gibby.
Yeah, 100%. I mean it's easier to get through a normal conversation.
Oh, they do like me.
Yeah, they do.
They do like you.
They do like you. Well, so we got all this catching up to do, but really for sports wise,
catching up, but there's sports kind of ended.
Yeah, sports kind of ended. But the thing that we really wanted to get on and cover a little bit was the end of the basketball season for our New Richmond boys. What a fantastic game we had down in Eau Claire North against the Wausau East. Regional semifinals on Thursday, March 13th.
Boy basketball. They rocked it.
They did rock it.
They did. What a game.
Oh, my.
We had you on.
Yep.
And
you and I called the game.
We've called a lot of basketball games. I talked to people afterwards. I was like, I was trying to keep Moose on the bleacher. I mean, that was probably, seriously, Moose, if you think back, I know it's been a while, that was I've never seen you that excited about basketball. I'm serious. Like you were just, it was crazy. It was fun. It was a great game.
It's fun when you get fun games, fun atmospheres, just the whole, like everything played into part of that, right? And when basketball is your sport, you just get into it. Kind of like listening to Gibby call a game, right? Like he gets a little more overexcited. Maybe we should try Darth Gibby on the game sometime.
Well, that would be a heck of a basketball game. And, his announcing intelligence would be crazy. I can tell you that right now.
You think so?
Yeah, I
I
really
can
do.
call a game bee.
A game bee?
A game bee? What is that?
I don't know.
I'm confused, sir. But I do want to talk about a couple different things there, though. What I thought was fun, I mean, the atmosphere is great. I sent you a picture, if you can get it up, so we can show too. I don't know if you have time, but
I'll try.
The student section was awesome. The environment inside that gym was electric.
Student section. Let's make that plural.
Student
Both
sections.
teams brought
Yes.
it. That's what I mean when you say atmosphere.
Yeah. The atmosphere was great. I mean, I just thought the parent side was great. It was a great atmosphere. The size of the gym was perfect. It was a great game, right? I mean, you just couldn't. It's what you wanted in playoff basketball. Now, unfortunately, we'll get to the ending. Obviously, the Tigers did not win. We lost in overtime, 68-70. But it was just a fun game. The flow was great. There was some runs in the game, but not too many big ones. Obviously basketball is a game of runs, it seems like, all the time. Not the type that Darth Gibby gets on a night of drinking or a lot of coffee, but just a fun game where it was close the entire time, just with a couple runs here or there, but really a fun game. And the players...
The boys played so hard.
Yeah, see, again, he can add stuff that Gibby doesn't.
I know. He's more insightful, isn't he?
Well, if everybody wants to know if Gibby was there in person, just ask him.
If you see him.
Yeah. And again, he's in Salt Lake City, didn't know that the time difference was 2 hours, didn't know that he wasn't going to be able to zoom in. Again, but we have better folks. But going back to the game, right? The Tigers started out, Tigers jumped out to an early lead, not a big lead, but an early lead, and then it was just a battle back and forth. The end of the first half, 25-22, it was a hard-fought game. And in the one thing that I just remember in the first half, RJ picked up a few early falls. Jesus, I can't talk. Guarding Jesse Napsazik, their best player.
Yep.
But Aiden Eckert came in. Between the two of them, they held him to minimal points in the first half. And really, at the end of the day, he ended up with 20, but he had 8 free throws that ended the game in second half in the overtime. So really, they held him to basically minimal points throughout that whole game. Played great. He did start the second half with a dunk. They called a great play to come out of this halftime and
try and get the flow back. I mean, that's what's
and
along
worked.
with runs go momentum in basketball. And if you have the momentum, then typically it starts with a dunk. It starts with
back-to-back threes or something.
Back-to-back threes. But back-to-back threes, that's a 6-0 run right there.
Yeah.
Right? Or typically. So that's where you should get the momentum.
Yeah, so I thought that momentum grab by them was critical because we had a 3-point lead. Well, then instantly that changed down to a 1-point lead, and then they kind of took a lead back. But then it was just a battle back and forth. We had opportunities that we just couldn't close on. The one big one was getting number 35, Charlie Cayley, was the 4th fouls. We just couldn't get that 5th one, and I think if we could have, that would have been a huge...
It was a battle.
Oh, it was a battle.
It was.
And give Nick Stalright, Jack Charbonneau, just a ton of credit. They just busted their butt down there, playing hard, battling hard. You had Jack Charbonneau coming off one of his best games that I've seen him play against Rhinelander. Had a 10 points, 11 rebound game. Very good game. Nick Stalright had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Again, they played great. But the guy who stepped it up big time in the second half was the smallest guy in the court. Number 2, Connor Raleigh.
Yep.
Dropping threes left and right. Driving to the lane. A perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line. He ends up with 30 points. He had the dagger to put us into overtime, right? You think about it. Minute something left. We have a 1-point lead. Worth saying there, how do we milk this baby away? And, oh, by the way, we have number 2 who's one of the best free throw shooters in, I don't know, probably in the state, if you ask me. When he's on. He's clutch. And then we just lost a couple possessions there, unfortunate turnovers that just did not go our way. I remember talking afterwards to you, I was a little frustrated. You could see their their coach was calling to foul. Looked like there were some fouls. They didn't call it, and that's life, right? But we got a timeout, drew up some plays, but we just couldn't execute the way that I think the team and coach wanted to. And at the end of the day, the turnovers caught us. But we didn't quit, right? I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. And we drew up a play, and Connor Raleigh slipped through the screen, popped that 3, and I knew when he shot that thing, I was like, that's good. You could tell. And everybody in that was like, that's good. And that was a great way to go into overtime. We had the momentum. And you saw it, right? We jump out to a 4-0 lead. And we're like, all right, now let's play our game. And again, unfortunately, turnovers got us, and just
It's
a couple
turnover-
missed
yeah,
opportunities.
it's just possessions. Overtime comes down to possessions.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a couple of those turnovers just did not help, obviously. But you look at the stats, and one thing that I did not realize. Do you know what we shot that night for 3-pointers?
What?
5 of 19. So not very good, right?
That's bad.
Jack was 2 of 4, and Connor was 3 of 8. Otherwise, we couldn't score any other threes. How about free throws? What do you think we were?
It had to be good.
17 out of 17.
We were.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Man, you want to hope for 75% plus. I mean, that's doing really good in high school.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, Raleigh was 13 of 13, Charbonneau was 2 of 2, and Abe was 2 of 2, and that was it. So, even shooting percentage, you take out the threes, we shot 2 from the field pretty well. We were 23 of 53, so we shot well, right? But just unfortunate, we just couldn't get that victory, and it was fun. It was fun to watch. It was a fun atmosphere. Obviously, for me, I've known those boys forever. I got to coach some of them, and it's one of those moments when you're like, man, that senior class for basketball, they help get New Richmond back where I think we all want them to be, right?
and they can be. And they
100%. But it was fun. It was fun. I think it was.
It wasn't just fun in the gym too. Like, just from the calling aspect from the gym, I hope fans enjoyed it from home too. I mean,
Moose was telling me that Justin Livestream wants to give a shout out to the fans from home. Huge numbers.
Oh,
yeah, you're right, Darth Gibby. We were talking about that earlier.
yeah, there was a lot of people watching back home, a lot of people watching in there, but I would agree. I think it was great, and I think it was fun. I know I enjoyed it. I had some people that from neighboring towns say, "Man, you guys were great calling it. We could feel the energy," and I think that's what you want, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what I told them is like, well, that's just what you and I do. Like, we enjoy calling the game, but the energy was from the crowd and the players on the court because they did not quit.
Calling that game was a little bit different than calling I will always bring this up when we first started this. That game was just a hair different calling than calling that volleyball game down in Prescott.
You always bring that back.
Because it was the grayest gym on the grayest day of COVID's life, and it was me, you, 6 parents, and some big heads.
Yep. It was crazy. And when you talk about big heads, we're not talking about Gibby's head either, guys, just if you're wondering. But they had the fat heads out of
You think Gibby has a big head?
I know he does. I mean, just he's always... he can barely get through the door here.
Hey.
Hi.
Wow. Oh.
So, yeah, great. So, just calling out great senior season for the boys, great season for the basketball team. Like, we talked about it. They ended up really connecting and really gelling at the end of the season. It was fun to watch, right? Like, man, they played really well down the stretch, and that's what you hope for.
And that's all you can hope for, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I was talking to the other announcer prior to the game, and he just said, hot or cold team, whatever. And I was just like, we're gelling.
Yeah.
At the, probably the 3/4 mark.
Yeah, I kind of thought about it. I was thinking about this.
Great senior group this year.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree on that. But what I kind of felt like it was when Jack, he hurt his ankle, unfortunately, down there in Eau Claire earlier in the season. Started seeing some improvement, but then it was probably that last third I felt like they just started really playing
third
well.
to 3/4 way through.
Yeah.
You could say half. You could maybe see it, but...
there were spurts of it, right? I think there were spurts of it.
The first half of the season, you're just like, oh, these guys, I think they could do better. And then they just, like you say, they started gelling a little bit. Fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. What was really fun, though, was Wass East ended up going down, beating West Salem. They made it to state. They lost, but I did watch some of the state games. My hometown, Turtle Lake, made it to state. It was really fun watching that. It's crazy. It's been a long time since I don't think I've been at Boys State for ages, so it was fun to get down there, see some people.
Turtle Lake.
Yeah, Turtle Lake, buddy. Yeah, they made it. But it was fun, to watch that. Watching some of the other areas team, Elmwood beat Amory. I mean, Amory had not Elk Mound did, sorry. Amory had a chance to.
Where is that?
Elk Mound is east of here. You okay now? Remember that? You've probably driven by it before when you went to, like, Chippewa Falls? I mean, just saying.
Yep.
Okay, got
There
it.
we go.
So it was fun, but yeah, we just got to give a shout out to the seniors. At the end of the day, it was fun watching you guys, and then the kids coming back, right? Like this sets the table. This sets the bar higher. you think about it, what I like to go back to, some of the things you've made comments on with the football program, like Reggie has set the bar. And we've talked about this, like, go back to the first game of the year last year when we're like, what do we have? We barely won. Well, the expectation in New Richmond now is here for football. And you're starting to see, like, that's what I think the expectation is going to get to for basketball, too. People expect
Winning breeds numbers.
100%.
Yep.
Yep.
It does.
And it's great.
And that's what you need, though, right? Like in a school our size and trying to play with, we're playing even in basketball, right? We play 2, 3, 4 Division I schools.
Yeah.
In our conference.
Chip,
two Eau Claire's, Chip, and Hudson.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, we're playing good-sized schools in our conference. We have the opportunity to take that and take advantage of it.
Yep.
I think.
No, I totally agree. All right, so wrapping up here just a little bit on the NCAA tournament, right? My team lost to Badgers, had a great first round, and then obviously second round lost to BYU. Tournament's been interesting to me. All the number 1 seeds have made it through. Your team, the Duke. They're fantastic.
They're just. I sent a thing to my cousin who hates Duke, and it had to deal with one guy was saying, he's like, I hate Duke for the wrong reason right now. He's like, how can you not? He's like, you have 2 guys that are enjoying playing with each other in Con Knippel from Wisconsin,
yep.
And Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
And he's their friends, and they enjoy playing together. And he goes, Knippel would be a number 1 guy on any other team, and you would hate him. The problem is you can't hate him because he's a number 2 guy, and and then there's Cooper Flagg, who's a really good number 1 guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd hate Con Knippel. Like, he's a different player. Like, I was with Ani, and over vacation we were talking about it. Like, I watched Con Knippel in the state tournament his senior year. I'm like, that guy's good. Would have I expect him to be rated as a top 10 lottery pick right now? No, not a chance. No, he's built. He's strong. You can see that out there, but I would have never guessed he was going to be the number 2 player on probably the best team in the nation right now.
Yeah.
Behind Cooper Flagg. And it's like, really, like, it just seems odd to me, his progression, but I mean, I don't know why, but he is a freaking stud, and it's amazing what he's doing. And, when Cooper was out with his injuries in the ACC tournament, like, he played amazing.
I think it's hard to imagine for people, because Con's probably used to being the number 1 player on his team all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
When you put people in the right positions or with the right people,
You
what
flourish.
they can do.
Yeah. Totally agree. And I think that's a very good point, Moose. And that's the points that we can bring on this podcast without Gibby. Right? You know what I mean?
Brian, quit playing footsie with me.
What is going on over there?
Oh, wow. You can still drop jabs at me, and you're just a tool.
A tool? Did you just call him a tool?
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, he's more of I don't know.
Jokester?
I am not.
Oh, he is not a tool. Okay.
But yeah, I would agree. And what was kind of neat, though, is now watching Con Knippel in there is at state. We watched Con Knippel's 2 brothers, a sophomore and a freshman, play for Wisconsin Lutheran. So they're not quite as good as Con at this time, I would say. I mean, Con Knippel is fantastic, but it's fun. But, all the 1 seeds going in, so it'll be fun. Now, on the girls' side, because I do like watching the girls, too. Paige Becker's leading UConn. It's unfortunate for Juju Watkins there for USC. Bulls are ACL out, so obviously that's a huge loss. But the girls' tournament's been good. But I think going back to the boys, it's going to be interesting how NIL, the transfer portal, plays, because a lot of people are saying I think the days of the Cinderella teams are done.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced yet, because there's a few that had some upsets, made a run. But I think this just might be a year that the better teams are the ones, and that's it. But
and I think you're going to see a shift in some of the teams too.
Yeah. I mean, some of these teams can reload really fast now.
There's a lot of money behind some of these teams, and and the hard part is for both, the transfer portal opened before the tournament was even over.
I know, it's
which
crazy.
is the stupidest thing you've ever heard.
I know. I don't.
If you have any common sense, go listen to UConn coach Gino Auriemma.
Yeah.
Auriemma.
Yeah, Auriemma.
Go listen to what he has to say about it. He's always been. He's not afraid to speak his mind. He's been a great coach his whole career.
One nonstop, but he will voice his thoughts.
And his
Very
thoughts are
pointed.
dead on this one where he can't, it's just, it is.
All right, well, that's the wrap today. We just wanted to talk a little bit of boys basketball again. Congratulations to you guys on a great season. It's been fun. We're going to get out hopefully a winter cast wrap up.
Worst time of year, it seems like.
I know,
'cause
but
we
we're
all
gonna-
start getting busy. But
We're going to try, but then, the funny thing is you're flipping through the pages already. Boys were down in Florida for baseball. They played a couple.
Softball starts next week.
Softball
Sorry, I didn't mean
starts.
to interrupt you there.
Yep, baseball is supposed to have a game tomorrow. That most likely be canceled. They have a tournament down in
Golf is
Adams
off
Friendship.
this week. So
Track's
they start
been
next week.
going.
Yeah, track's been going.
I saw Joe Hepner ran the 60, and I can't remember what it was. Ben Hepner's been running, so there's some speed. We got to talk about those
we have
guys.
another 4x, I think, that's doing pretty good.
Yeah, the
too,
girls
so.
team has been doing good already, so we're going to start getting that in. We'll be back on weekly, most likely starting next week. Hopefully Gibby's not around, so we can just do it with more intelligent. We'll see.
Well, let's see what he has.
What do you got?
Goodbye, everyone. From Salt Lake City, I have no clue what time it is, but know this. I am not working hard at all, and I like candy.
Oh, my word. All right. I'm going to bring you a candy bar next week, buddy. All right. Well, that's a wrap. We'll be back on. We'll start talking spring sports, baseball, softball, track, tennis, soccer. I think that's it, right?
That's it.
And golf.
Golf.
All right. I'm Scrib, and we got Moose on the loose.
Yeah, I don't have anything for him this time. Sorry.
All right. Wrap.